Guys. So, Sean and I did it again. We went and looked at another piece of property, and it was such a piece of garbage. After I get done talking to you guys, I'm going to put the footage of us going and looking at, or at least part of us going and looking at the property on, after I'm done talking to you guys, but so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So we went and looked at a piece of property. It's supposedly like 41 acres. And it has a little house on it. If you guys remember the last place that we went and looked and it was condemned and nobody could live there because it was condemned, this little house is in worse condition, but it's not condemned. It should be, but it's not. So anyways, we went and looked at this property, and it's beautiful land. Beautiful land. It's kind of an irregularly shaped property. It would give us some property that's up against two different roads. So that would be nice. So there's quite a bit of like road access to the property from both sides. You could kind of come in the back side of the property, or you could go in what they consider the front side of the property, which is where the house is. So that's nice that you have lots of access to the property. There is about 10 acres of it that is kind of swampy, which is fine. You know, it's kind of in the middle of the property, but you can access the property from either side of that swampy area. So that's just like an area down the middle that, you know, maybe we won't you know, use a whole lot, or maybe we'll find a use for it that works for us. But the problem with this property is not the house that is condemned or should be condemned but isn't condemned. The problem with this property is that there is garbage everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Okay, so around the house, there's garbage. Like, they just threw their crap outside. There's dog cages, there's tires, there's boards, there's magazines, there's, so everywhere there is garbage. There's tires, old car parts, mattresses that there isn't even any cloth left on it. It's just the metal frame parts of an old spring mattress, siding, you name it, there is crap out there. It is like a major cleanup project, right? So, okay, this is around the house. We thought, okay, so the house that's on like, I don't know, 7 or 8 acres, right? Before you get to the swampy part, okay? And then you have the swampy part, and then you have like a wooded area in the back, the back 40 or whatever. So we were like, all right, well, let's drive down the road and go around the road and access the property from the other road and see what that looks like, right? Maybe, we were thinking, maybe the other side of the property wasn't utilized, and we could build there and then worry about the cleanup, you know, after we are established, how we want to be established. So anyways, we thought maybe we could go and access the back of the property. Maybe it hadn't been touched. You know, maybe they didn't utilize that area. So we went down and around the road, because, you know, there's a corner there. It's on a different road. And we had permission. You know, we actually went there with a realtor this time. And so we had permission. He had to go and he had another showing. So, but he said that he was more than happy. We could just walk the property all we wanted, look around, see what we wanted to see, you know, do whatever we wanted to do to see if this was maybe the property for us. So the back part of the property had this big hill, right? And it's all grassy. And then when you get to the top of the hill, there's like forest way in the back. there's forest, and it's just beautiful from the road. And there was some forest on the sides too, but up this hill was all grassy. So Sean and I and there was this old foundation from maybe a barn or an old house or something that was there, and that was really cool. We'd probably just left that there because it was just really cool. But so anyways, Sean and I hiked our way up this hill, and at the top of the hill there is a weather vane, and there's some picnic tables. Okay, well, so apparently they were back here at some point. So we walk a little bit further, and there's dog cages everywhere. And there's more garbage. And there's more garbage. And I didn't get a video of the dog cages. But there's also like these two old motorhomes, campers. And they've been parked back in the woods off to the side. They have been there for a long time. And they're filled with garbage. And all around them is garbage, right? And there's this big fence right before the woods with a gate. And you go inside the gate, and there's off to the side, there is like this gigantic pile of like just where people just decide to throw all their garbage. And, and there's a spot over by the picnic tables where people like just threw a whole bunch of little milk jugs, little plastic milk jugs. It's just garbage everywhere. So we go through this gate to get back into the woods, right? The gate was open, and we had permission to be there, so no big deal. And there's just more garbage. It's not as bad, but as you're walking, there's still more garbage. Like it looked like there was a TV back there. It looked like there was an old refrigerator back there. And then we come across this huge pile of what looks like dog bones. You guys, I really think that at one point this was like some dog fighting place, and I don't know, but huge pile of dog bones. I did not get a video of that because it was just ugh. And I wasn't videoing at that time. And then we walked back into the property, and once you got back a ways, there wasn't a lot of garbage. Here and there you'd find like you know, those racks that you set on your kitchen counter to dry your dishes after you've washed them. There's one of those back there. So, but it wasn't like that whole area was full of garbage, but there was sporadic spots where somebody had, I don't know, dropped something and just didn't pick it up, or I don't know. So anyways, this would be a major cleanup. All right, this whole property needs like a major cleanup. I don't even know what it would cost to clean it all up. And obviously there's things that we'd have to look into. We'd have to see if the water was good, what the soil was, like make sure there wasn't any like real contaminants, and then it's all just a bunch of surface garbage. So anyway, Sean and I are talking about this, and the prices dropped. They originally wanted $149,000 for 40 acres. It's dropped 20 grand to $129,000. And Sean and I originally, we were like, when we saw the house, we were like, we wouldn't offer more than 100 grand for this. It's going to take a lot of cleanup. It's going to take a lot of work. Well, after we saw the rest of the property, we were like, we wouldn't offer more than 85 grand for this, because it's probably going to cost $10,000 to $20,000 just to clean it all up. I mean, it's a lot of garbage. So anyways, I thought I'd ask you guys, what do you guys think? Like, is it worth it to clean it up, to have a beautiful piece of property, 40 acres? And I don't know what they would take. It's an estate sale, so it would have to be approved by a judge. I don't know if they would even consider going as low as $85,000. But I also don't know, you know, I mean, hunters aren't even going to buy this property because it's so full of garbage that it's not going to be a nice place to go hunting. It's just not. It's not a nice place right now. It could be a nice place. It could be a beautiful place. That hill, you could put a house on it. You could put a barn up farther top. You could have a rain catchment system that ran down to the house. I mean, it could be gorgeous. You could make it beautiful after you cleaned it up. It's the cleanup, right? If the cleanup wasn't there, this property would probably be $120,000 or $200,000 probably. Probably $200,000 if this property wasn't a mess, but it is. It's disgusting. So anyways, I will put the footage of the house and the property after here, like right now. So you guys can take a look and let me know what you guys think. If we should pursue this or if it's just way more effort than it's worth. Because you guys have a lot more experience probably than I do with life in general. But more like land and property and like what it's going to take to clean this up. I imagine somebody out there has more experience and would know more than I would. So anyways, let me know what you think and enjoy the video of our property.
Yeah.
We definitely pick the places, don't we?
I hear the heron.
Yeah. Dog crate. I want to go back.
Whoa.
Not until he gets here, but I want to go back.
Yeah, this place is definitely condemned. Ain't no doubt about that.
Why do they even put that there's bedrooms on the thing?
Oh, no kidding. If it's not a house, then that takes 20, 30 grand right off asking.
I'm pretty sure the house isn't included in the asking price anyway.
Look at that. Wow. This place is cool. I'd love to just... It's got a metal roof.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go in there though.
I'm not going in there. I'm just walking up to it. That is so weird.
Somebody took the flag off the front.
It's not even a real door. Look at it.
Honey, that is redneck totally broke door is what that is. This is poverty door.
Wow.
You'd really probably just have to pay somebody to come in here and clean this up. This is all boarded up. It's like whoever lived here was a hoarder. It's just packed full of shit in there.
Yeah, smell that. Birds and shit have been getting in and out.
That's a neat vine up there though. Vine, tree, bush. That's grapes. Oh, that's grapes, sweetheart. Well, they can stay. Look. Wild grapes.
Yeah. Look at the grapes in that. Wow. Damn. If only I would have brought my camera. Damn. Oh, that's an old fridge. Oh, wow. Oh, that fridge has to be 70, 80 years old. Because it's got the condenser inside. That's crazy.
Ooh. There's a sinkhole right there.
Wow. Oh, I'd be so fascinated just going in there and finding out what's all in there.
I'm not sure I'd go in there.
I would.
You fall through the floor.
Well, it's a risky road to take. It's not that far down.
Look, something's been... This whole thing here is not stable. You could twist an ankle and something right there.
What?
Hole.
Yeah, so?
It's been dug up by something.
Okay.
Critter or something.
Yeah.
I was just saying, don't step on it. You'll twist your ankle.
I want to know the history of this house. And who lived here? What exactly was everything? Because this thing sure does look like it's been around a long time.
Well, it was built in 1870 or 80.
Really?
Yeah, it's old.
Oh wow, that is so cool. This stuff is so fascinating to me. Well, you think it's a pile of shit. It probably is. But
I think it's a neat pile of shit, but it's definitely a pile of shit.
we got an old Maxwell House coffee can down there. Okay? I don't care if I fall through the floor. I want to go through the house and see what I can find. Look at all the spots we can do it. I mean, you haven't seen a single car come down this road yet.
You're not going to.
Good. That's the way I like it. Stay away, world.
But I want to know. I want to go back. I want to go back into the property. This is clearly just a cleanup project right here.
Look at all those. What are those?
Wild grapes.
Oh. I thought you said the vines were the grapes.
Yes, the vines
There is
are
an
the
old
grapes.
telephone line up there. Oh my.
There's also Christmas lights.
Yeah, I see that, but there's an actual telephone line that's hanging from the wall over there. That's back in the old days when telephones were still coming out. That's crazy. Because they had to insulate it from anything or else it would have got interference. Huh. Wow. This is amazing. Oh, the amount of time I could spend just going through and looking at all the cool old stuff.
But we are going to be back before 5:30. Remember? That's what you said.
Well, yeah. Wow, you could pee out here and nobody would care.
Yeah, you could.
Magnetic signs. Somebody have a business out here, or they were just hoarding that sign that they found on the side of the road.
Well, one thing's for sure. Never-ending amount of surprises would be on this property. We would probably never find the end of.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, there's no footprints, so nobody's been here since it's rained, except us. There's a hose. Who knows what that's for?
Nobody lives in there, look at that.
Well, maybe it's just people have come and opened it to see. Like we, just did. Oh, caught a whiff of that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross. No, they were alcoholics. All kinds of bottles back here.
It's redneck territory.
Yeah, I wouldn't even give the rednecks this much. I would say they would be better than this.
Just light this thing on fire and just say, fuck it.
No. It would contaminate the pollution that would come off of that thing would be not worth it for our property. More dog cages, animal traps. People think I'm bad. This is an old one. An old trailer. whoever it was cut the fence here so they could go back in there.